So Michael, we've already had a conversation earlier on in the review about surviving winter. So this is the opportunity to explain a little bit more about how important the relationship is between Suffolk Community Foundation and the public sector. Perhaps you could just explain why it's so crucial to what we do.
Sure. Quite often there are really strong synergies between the activity that the Foundation wants to undertake and those of our statutory sector partners. We know also that, as is always the case, the more people and resources that you can bring around the table, particularly when you're grappling with really complex issues, the better. So the more the merrier, really.
Perhaps what have been the real highlights, because we've been in an emergency situation and we've also been trying to hold on and deliver those longer term projects. So tell us a little bit about some of the exciting projects that have been going on.
Yeah, so obviously it's been an incredibly busy year, and now we're moving increasingly away from COVID and looking at some of the issues that existed prior to the pandemic. You'll hear a bit later from Andrea regarding the Youth Intervention Fund, but we've also been really active in the mental health space. So working with colleagues within the CCGs, we've been looking at developing greater support for men's mental health and suicide prevention. And we've also launched a really innovative new programme called Equity in Mind, which again is a mental health related programme.
What's that programme been addressing? Give us a little flavour of it.
So Equity in Mind is it's all about looking at ways that the statutory sector and the voluntary sector can work better together to achieve outcomes for those with severe mental ill health.
And how did it come about? Where did the idea come from?
So the idea came about, as always, through conversation and relationships, through our previous activity where we'd been funding projects around lower level mental health needs. It became apparent that the voluntary sector has got a really strong role and potential role going forwards within the more moderate to severe mental ill health space. And so we looked at what gaps there were in provision and where there might be some real opportunities for a new programme to make a difference. I think that there's a number of different things that makes it quite unique, really. So firstly, the fact that it's a true partnership, so it involves greater collaboration between the voluntary sector and our partners from across the health space. It's looking at more severe mental health needs, which previously there hadn't been as much support available within the sector. And also it's looking at targeting demographics in a much more defined way, where we know, for example, that people who are more elderly might not have the level of support in the community that they need. So the programme is looking at their needs as well.
So perhaps with no further ado, we'll go over and have a look at the Equity in Mind film.
My name's Jason Joseph. I'm a transformation lead at Suffolk and North East Essex CCGs, looking at mental health, learning disability and autism. So the ambition behind Equity in Mind was to try and create a suite of projects where we could work with diverse communities, support older people in the community and people with serious mental health need. The idea really was to reach out to local community groups and start some projects that could really help people feel connected in their local communities. So we decided to work with the Community Foundation because of their knowledge and experience in this field. As a CCG, we have found it difficult to reach out to local communities, but the Foundation really sold the benefit of the projects they've worked with previously, and we're confident they could get this money out to the groups that we really needed to fund. It's great to be at this project at Burlington Baptist Church with Inside Out, but we have 5 other projects across Suffolk. So we looked at Gatehouse in West Suffolk that are doing some counselling support for older people with mental health needs.
My name's Adele Pacini. I'm a clinical psychologist and mindfulness teacher, and I've been brought into the team at Gatehouse to help deliver this project. It first started as a face-to-face group to be delivered throughout Suffolk, but obviously with the lockdown restrictions we had to move it online. And I think what's been quite striking about this project is how much it's supported people when they're isolated due to COVID. So what we found is that it's helped people's mental health, it's helped their resilience, it's helped to lower their stress levels, And the remarkable thing about that is that it's helped people despite all the restrictions due to COVID. So in fact, a lot of people that attended our courses were actually able to improve their mental health despite the lockdown restrictions. And this new Equity in Mind project follows on directly from that work in delivering the online mindfulness courses to older adults throughout Suffolk.
We've got a project in West Suffolk with CAB. So we all know that Citizens Advice Bureau offer financial advice to people. They told us that actually people with mental health need sometimes struggle.
Our team supports people with poor mental health, but also with mental illnesses such as depression, personality disorders and schizophrenia. We're passionate about helping them to develop the skills they need to tackle the issues that have become obstacles to their recovery.
So with Homestart Suffolk, who are going to reach out and diversify their workforce to include more people from Eastern European descent, what that's going to do is bring more families and more support to families in Suffolk and help them with their young people, and also help them themselves to be able to cope with bringing up young people and manage their own mental health and the mental health of their children. We also have Phoebe, which is a project really close to my heart that looks to support young black women and their families and their mental health. And again, it's not about overtly talking about their mental health needs, but it's about support and encouraging young people to talk up about the problems they're facing. What Phoebe will do is support them and encourage them to reach out to statutory support, get them to talk to their GPs and to mental health services as well. We've got a fantastic partnership project with Volunteering Matters, working with survivors in transition, health outreach and 4YP. That project supports older people from BME backgrounds to tell their stories to young people, and again supports those young people to reach out to organisations that can help them with their mental health and well-being. Really happy to be here at Burlington Road Baptist Church to look at the project that Inside Out have developed with Caribou Women's Group. What struck us about their application was their excitement of diversifying their offer to more diverse communities, to older people, and they're inclusive. So it's not just about people with serious mental health need, older people or people from diverse backgrounds, it's open to everybody.
Inside Out Community is a local charity that works with members of local community, and we set out to provide artistic workshops for well-being and mental health. So we are working with Caribou and started a series of collaborative workshops that are for their own members, and the idea is to spread art and the kind of therapeutic benefits of art to other communities, especially ethnically diverse communities and culturally diverse communities.
It's all part of the camaraderie and having a creativity and a good time, and being totally relaxed and feeling at ease, and working together as a team and a collective.
We've been coming to this group for so long time, and even when it is time for us to go, they have to gear me up because it motivates them. It made them, they feel it's so therapeutic, makes them happy. They spend time with others, having relationship with others, like having people to talk to, people to spend time with.
It makes me, my mind to be relaxed. You know, when you do this kind of a thing, you don't think of something else anymore. You just keep focusing, how can I get it done better? How can I make it better? So your mind is relaxed and more focused.
Since I've been coming, I've met new people. Yes, new people. And I love coming. It generally gets me out the house.
So this is the start of a journey with Equity in Mind. It's a landmark really for us in the CCG. We're able to reach out to communities through Suffolk Community Foundation, but we want to do more. We want to learn from the experience that these projects have given us and develop greater partnerships in the community at a local level. And it's an opportunity for other people to get involved. So we'd like to involve the County Council, people with private funding or other funding to get involved in these projects and grow them. And we'd like to see this as a legacy in Suffolk. So we have communities supporting people with mental health need and their well-being in the future.